Okay, if we start talking about using a weapon on the individual,
right,
and we want to do something pretty quiet but very effective and get the job done,
right,
using this ice pick here, you can pick it up anywhere, pretty reasonable rates.
right. Any hardware store, huh?
Even a rusty one, it's even better because the guy's going to get infected if you stab him with it. But one of the places that you can try sticking the guy is just like when you shoot him with a 22 or something and you want to silence him up pretty quick.
Okay.
You shove it into the base of the skull and it goes up in.
Right.
Punctures the brain.
Okay.
It'll do the job right away, real quiet. Another place, get him on the eye.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
And then go into the heart.
Right.
Okay. Right at the breast.
Okay.
You don't want to come on from the bottom because you're going to get caught into the rib cage and that.
It'll stop it. Okay.
But usually a good way to do this to make sure that it looks something like a heart attack is to make sure you coat this with some poison or some tar kind of residue ointment on it so that it's not oily and it comes off while you penetrate the actual skin.
Okay.
Because otherwise the poison tends to stay outside. Where
on the skin instead of in the heart.
Tarry, yeah.
Yeah.
You tend to puncture inside and the actual point drags it inside.
Right. Okay, use a paste, not a liquid on there.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now, there's a lot of different grips you can use, but because it's so sharp and thin, it's real easy to puncture in. You just got to stay away from the bone side.
Okay.
You know, and then go into the eye or to the base of the skull or the chest.
Avoid the thick skull.
Other than that, if you're working with a knife, you're going to be doing a messier job because this doesn't do a lot of bleeding.
Right.
It's more internal damage. The bleeding outside is real slight because it's a small hole.
A puncture,
but if you start using a knife, you're cutting his throat or stabbing him the same way, there tends to be a little bit more bleeding.
Yeah.
Other than doing the job where you're going to take him out right off the bat, the only other thing that I'd like to point out is that if you need to drop him for any reason, because you're moving around, you've got to hit a joint. Any of the joints or the ribs, any of the joints.
Okay.
The pain is so intense because there's a lot of nerve.
Yes.
And when you hit him, you're going to drop him. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because with knives and with these ice picks, when you penetrate the guy, he can still fight.
Right.
You could puncture the lungs, and he could run a couple miles and then drop dead.
Right.
See? You could go into any of the organs, and he could fight you. He could still hurt you. But if you need to drop him for any reason, you got to hit a joint where there's nerves because the pain's so intense, he drops right away. Then you've got a good position to do
finish him off.
Moves.
Okay.
If you need to drop him, otherwise you can just stab him in those 3 areas.
Right.
And
get it over with quick.
That's going to be it for him.
Okay. Great.